you ready? I said, are you ready for Let's Talk Whoa Hockey? And now, here are our hosts, Beth and Zach.
What's going on, hockey world? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk WoHo Hockey, brought to you by Shocked Hydrate and In the Clutch Apparel. I am Beth, joined as always by my dude Zach. 2 episodes in a row, I have pointed in the right direction. I am improving.
Golf claps. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud.
I'm doing my best. I'm not going to try again. I learned my lesson last week. How are you doing today, Zach?
Mixed bag. The Hurricanes did not do so well today against the Boston Bruins, so there's that. But
yeah,
other than that, not too bad though. It's kind of exciting. It's been an exciting day though overall because outside of the Hurricanes game, we have a really great guest today too. So I was actually looking forward to it because we have our first ever women's hockey head coach, and it's like look where we're at now.
I know. Look at us go. So
how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm tired. I did a lot of yard work today.
It looked like it from the before and afters.
There was a lot.
I get them.
So
tree yard work is not easy. That's for sure.
Yeah. Cut a tree. Oh, hi, Kelly.
Hi. May I help you?
Cut a tree, cleared a bunch of debris off the roof. So I'm exhausted, but I can't wait to talk to our guest. So I'm going to bring her on now. So without further ado, we are very happy to welcome to Let's Talk WoHo Hockey, the head coach of the University of Michigan women's hockey team, Jenna Trubiano. Jenna, hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are doing wonderful. Kelly's decided to join us today. She's a bit of a needy girl, so.
Hi.
I appreciate that. My dog, you might see her too as well.
You might see mine too wandering around back here, and there's a cat around here somewhere, but I'm not sure where he is, and that's a little scary sometimes. So welcome to the show. We are super happy to have you. How's the weather in Michigan right now?
It was beautiful today. It felt like 75 degrees. It was probably 65, but super nice out. Like you, I spent some time outside doing yard work and just trying to get ready for the week. And yeah.
Yeah, no, it feels like it's that time of year where we're all doing the extra yard work, not just the normal stuff. So
yeah, we're finally getting there. So that just means summer's going to be here, and I'm not looking forward to it. It gets way too hot down here in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm in Florida, so I understand. Thankfully, I'm going to Michigan in July, so that's the perfect time to go to Michigan when you live in Florida.
Absolutely.
We're going to be in Petoskey. My grandma's turning 90.
Oh,
so
wow. That is
we are
awesome.
going to go. We're all going to visit her in Petoskey, and we are going to have like a whole week of family time. So that'll be a fun and exciting time. That's what we're going to say
cool.
It's going to be.
Where is Petoskey? I've never heard of it.
It's up here.
Upper Peninsula. Gotcha.
No, that's over here.
Oh, well.
It's up here.
Close enough, I guess.
Almost there.
Almost there. Like
Almost.
almost Canada. Like
being from Ohio, it is what it is. Like you kind of try to remember where part of Michigan is.
Don't talk too much. You're wearing an Ohio State shirt. Jenna might leave, or that's
Actually,
NC State. I just saw State. I'm sorry.
NC State.
You're wearing red. You're talking about Ohio. Jenna would just be like, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to be here anymore.
To be fair.
So you grew up in Michigan, right?
I did, yes. I'm from New Baltimore, Michigan. Born and raised. My parents were both from Michigan as well. Obviously played hockey in Michigan growing up. Went to the University of Michigan, and I've stuck around. So here I am.
So it's safe to say you like Michigan, I'm guessing, right? Just the university is just.
Yeah, I'd say so. I actually grew up a Michigan State fan. So when I applied to Michigan, I was kind of like,
Let's
whatever.
see what happens.
Yeah, and then I went to visit campus, and I was like, I absolutely love this school. And
Ann Arbor is absolutely beautiful as well. So I mean,
yeah, it's a great town.
I mean,
were you wanting to go to Michigan State, or was UofM always kind of the dream?
Well, it's a little bit of an interesting story because I played for Little Caesars AAA growing up, and the push was always to go NCAA, but there are no NCAA D1 programs in Michigan. So I kind of just I wanted to go to a school that was super strong academically because, 10 years ago, almost, professional women's hockey didn't exist. And they're still battling with some struggles and stuff. So for me, academics was number one, as it's not a 4-year degree, it's a lifetime degree. So I applied to Michigan, got in, decided that's what I wanted to do. And luckily they had an ACHA hockey program. So I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because I know for Michigan, it's the I know you went for kinesiology, right?
Yes.
That's really cool. Yeah, I heard that's a really great program up in Michigan. It's Michigan is a very, very good academic school for basically the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, they've got like really good medical programs. My father-in-law actually was at the hospital there when he had some heart problems. So they took very good care of him, and they all very highly spoke of any of the medical programs there. So I know that they do very well in that side of things.
They do. Yep.
Plus, don't forget the arena for the Michigan hockey team is very, very nice, especially on the one end of the arena. We got like that glass, like you got that like window right there. Can't beat that for views at a hockey game for sure.
Yeah, it's super cool. And the first time I went, after I applied to Michigan, got in, I went to a prospect skate, which we still try to hold it if we're able to. And I had been to Yost before, but this was my first time at Yost since they renovated it, I think in 2011 or 2012. And it's a very cool facility. It's super unique. It's on campus. You're sort of just thrown in the mix of things. And going back to Ann Arbor is super walkable. So a lot of my friends when I was in school didn't need a car, and I had a car just because I was close to home, but many of our players on our team don't have vehicles, and you can walk from point A to point B to point C. And now they've got like the spin scooters and stuff. So I see a lot of students taking those for biking, although Ann Arbor kind of cracked down on the scooters. But it's a great town, great facility. I love the football games. The whole atmosphere it's great. Obviously academics are top tier as well. So.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I've always heard good things. My mom wanted to go to UofM. She graduated high school in Petoskey as well. But she decided to join the Navy and see the world. And here we are. So
that's great too. Too.
Yeah. So, and then, no judgment from either of us here. Favorite NHL team?
Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, we kind of assumed that was coming.
Come on, that's such a slam dunk answer. Like, come on, Michigan, it's the Red Wings.
You never know. You really never know.
You get the random Michigan person who's like, I like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're like, okay.
Detroit's not really far from Toronto, so
yeah,
that's not out of the realm of possibilities. You never know. You have to ask because she could have been like, it's the LA Kings. You never know.
No, if you say Chicago Blackhawks, I know they're going to get a lot of dirty looks for sure.
Yes. Yep.
Like I said, no judgment from our side. Pay no attention to the things behind us.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I was actually in Chicago last weekend for an ACHA showcase at Fifth Third Arena. And
I remember that. That's really cool. You're able to go there. That's awesome.
Great facility. Joe Caprio, who put it on, fantastic. The coaches were treated amazingly. Same with the players. So we'll definitely be going back there, but great facility. Going back obviously to the Red Wings thing. I grew up when they were good. When they won the Stanley Cup. So I really wanted to go to the parade, but I was in 8th grade and I had already missed enough school for hockey. So that wasn't happening.
See, Zach and I grew up when the Blackhawks were bad. So
okay.
We were adults when they were good.
Also when these guys were not doing so hot either. So
yeah. So it's fine.
So was it your first showcase, or was this like or have you gone to the showcase before?
This was the first year I've gone to the showcase.
Okay.
And I just took the train from Ann Arbor. It was super easy to get downtown and navigate the train and the subway system. So it was great.
For sure.
Okay.
The L is terrifying if you're in a car underneath it.
Yep.
It was the first time I'd been in the city as an adult. I went in April with my dad, and we were driving, and a train went over, and I was like, what is happening right now? I don't like this. Can we please get off this street right now? Thanks.
Yeah, for me, Detroit, because of how the city was built, and obviously it was built around the big three, automotive. So they never established public transportation because they wanted people to buy cars and drive them.
Yeah.
So Detroit has no public transportation system. So for me to go to Chicago and have to navigate that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying. But luckily I have
Buses
some
and
friends
trains
that
and divvy bikes and scooters. I mean, there's
Yep.
so many
Oh my
choices.
It was
Now,
fun though.
what was it like graduating and I mean obviously finishing your college career and then being asked to come back as the assistant coach for the Michigan program?
It was a tough decision for me. Obviously, I had played and was friends with a lot of the players on the team. So for me, trying to establish that line between, okay, now I'm your coach. I was on the team, so I know what the team does outside of the rink and outside of practice. So it was difficult. This past season as a head coach, I would say I learned a lot. But I've always tried to establish myself as, okay, these are the players, when I played, they were my friends, but just trying to establish that line and obviously keep it very professional was something very important to me.
I mean, that's got to be hard going from we're all friends. We played hockey together. We all know how tight knit hockey teams are.
Correct.
As just a group. And then going from being friends to okay, so now I'm your coach.
Yep.
So we've got to kind of put a line here. I still love you guys, but we've got to kind of establish that, I am actually coaching you guys now.
Exactly.
And this
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it was just something that it's the first time I've ever done that or experienced that. So just trying to navigate that myself was a little difficult, but I think it worked out really well.
Okay, and so then this was Team 25, right? Was this your first year as the head coach? Was for Team 25 or was it Team 26?
I think Team 26 was my first year as a head coach.
Okay.
And then we didn't have a season last year due to COVID.
Right.
And a lot of students weren't on campus anyway. But I accepted the head coach position, I believe, in February of 2021. So kind of just rushed into things. But I'm very glad that students had still wanted to apply to Michigan and play hockey there because we had, I think, 15 new players on the roster, including freshmen, sophomores, and transfer students. So we're very, very fortunate.
I could not imagine having to try to recruit or figure out how to get a roster going with the fact you had no season. And then it's okay, here you go. Here's your first season as head coach. And it's 15 new players. Is there any type of recruiting or how does that usually work for ACHA programs?
That's a great question. So our recruiting process, which I'm trying to define myself, is very unique because at our program at the University of Michigan, we don't have any pull or say in the admissions process. So students have to apply no later than February 1st. They can apply for early action, which is November 1st, but Michigan's a very, very competitive school academically. So for those students that have the grades to get in, that have that hockey background, that can compete on the ice, my goal for this upcoming application cycle is to just keep them updated with application deadlines because I've already run into situations where students have missed application deadlines just because they weren't aware. So if anybody's watching this that wants to go to Michigan, I recommend that they reach out to me and we talk about the admission cycle and the admissions process because you have to apply into specific schools at Michigan. We have engineering, Ross School of Business, LS&A, kinesiology. So they're all separate applications, but they go through the Common App. So the biggest thing for me when recruiting is I look at grades. I look at GPA and test scores. And if somebody's competitive enough to get in and obviously has a strong hockey background, there's somebody I want to talk to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. If you're okay, we'll definitely drop your email in the show notes if you want.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll definitely make sure to do that. So hey, if you're interested,
Yep.
Here's the email for the coach in their show description. So
Yeah,
Perfect.
she will help you get through the process
Yeah.
so that you don't miss anything. Because I remember that like headache, like applying to college and being like, okay, did I get this in time? Did I pay for this on time? Like,
Yep.
was everything done? I was very lucky when I applied. The school that I went to actually came and did in-person interviews at my high school.
That's great.
And I found out like that day that I got into college. I was like, sweet, I don't have to apply anywhere else. It's perfect. Like, it's October. Bye, guys. Like, have a good day.
bye, deuces. I don't have to worry about anything else
I
now.
don't have to worry about anything else. I just have to get through the rest of this year. I am in.
So,
That's awesome.
so because I know you're in the ACHA, like, what would you say is probably like your biggest rivals, or what's that one team that you kind of circle on the schedule every year? Like, all right, this game, like, I know every game matters. Like, is there certain games, certain teams that are like, this matters more for the program?
I would say Michigan State for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
We have the Big Ten in-state football rivalry, hockey rivalry, everything else is a rivalry.
Right.
And for those in-state students that come to Michigan, it's very likely that they have friends that go to Michigan State. So we're competing against players that our roster knows. So it's always super competitive. And their head coach now, Rob Blackburn, actually he was my coach at Michigan for 2 years. So
Okay.
coach.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now
He's great.
now that's
he's
been an
great.
extra few notches. Like, hey, all right, now it's time for the student to beat the master now, right?
Yeah, he's great though. And when I had been accepted to Michigan, he was super helpful, and I know what he's trying to do there at Michigan State now and try and grow the program. So I respect him, and he's a great person.
Okay, so what would you say is probably the best road city to go to for an away game? And like, is there like certain places that you have to go there to check out for food wise, or just like attractions? Like what's that place, and where would you usually go to in that?
Yeah,
city?
That's a great question. So typically in the past, I think it was 2 years ago. So we didn't do any big trips this past year, but typically we try to do like a big trip once a year. Most of the teams we play are locally, but 2 years ago we flew out to Colorado and played CU Boulder, which Boulder's a very, very cool place. Like it's kind of like Ann Arbor, but you're also in the mountains. And
it's so beautiful out there. I love Boulder. It's
a great trip. They have a solid program out there in the ACHA as well. So it's nice to fly out there. And a lot of our players, weren't able to go to they had never been to Colorado. So it was like the first time they went to Colorado, first time they got to hike the mountains with the team. So they had a great experience. But I would say that's probably like the number one destination for our program. Like, can we go to Colorado? I'm like, okay,
can we go to Boulder again this year, please?
Yeah. We just
can we do it again?
It's like, hey, Colorado State, do you have a program so we can like have a reason to go to Colorado?
Colorado State does have a program.
Okay.
Yep. And then next year, I think we're planning on going out to Utah to play University of Utah
nice.
And some other opponents. So that'll be super fun.
That definitely be a fun trip.
Yeah, I think another good one too is like I would definitely want to check out Arizona State's new hockey arena because that thing looks pretty nice from what I've seen. That wouldn't be a bad trip either, going down into the desert to play the Sun Devils in that new place.
Absolutely. We owe them a trip.
That new place is about to get a big old upgrade too, since it's going to be the host of an NHL team for a couple of years. So it's going to kind of be the place to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's on our list as well. I'm very good friends with their head coach, Lindsay Ellis. So we've been in communication, but they're sort of waiting for things to fold out with that arena before we can solidify anything, which makes sense.
Sure.
But we definitely hope to get down there soon.
So what would you say is like, I know you got Boulder, Arizona State at some point. What is your bucket list number one opponent like that you would just love to play? Like it has to happen at some point. Who would that be?
Honestly, I think the University of Washington. They're not in ACHA Division I yet, but they're super active on social media. They just had a prospect camp. I think it would be amazing to go out to Seattle to play them. Once they get up and running. But like if the University of Michigan can play the University of Washington in a women's ice hockey game, like to me, that's incredible. Like that just sounds so cool.
Like,
Hey.
fly us out. We want to be there. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, we'll just be there and be like, all right, we get to see the first ever Wolverines against Huskies game just because that would be so fantastic. Plus, it's in Seattle. Like, you have to go to the market and all that stuff too, just for like fun as a team. Because why
Definitely.
Toss
not,
some
right?
fish. I mean, do all the fun Seattle things while you're there too.
Yeah, they I've been seeing a lot of the social media stuff they've been doing and just trying to build women's hockey at the collegiate level and beyond, which I think is really, really cool. So I think it'd be awesome to take a trip out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what can we expect from the University of Michigan women's hockey team this season?
We're going to have a very strong program. We had 3 seniors graduate, so we have 20 returning players.
Oh, wow.
And from what I know, a very strong incoming class. That's as much as I can say now. We're continuing to build in the direction of being more competitive, playing more competitive teams on a consistent basis, but it all comes down to money. So whatever's in our budget, where can we travel to? Can we make 2 big trips a year? Just things like that, where logistically we have to make sure it's within our budget. But we're hoping to get to that point where we will be able to afford to take 2 big trips a year and play ranked opponents more consistently. Because we're required to play within our league, the CCWHA, which is the Central Collegiate Women's Hockey Association, which has been around, I think, since '97.
Wow.
It's one of the oldest leagues, I think, within ACHA Division I. So like Michigan State's in that league, Miami of Ohio, Concordia University Ann Arbor, Adrian College, Indiana Tech. So a lot of teams luckily are local for us, which helps our budget, obviously, because we have to pay for travel. But just trying to get to that point where like we know we can go out and play UMass Amherst on a yearly basis or every other year. So
that'd be great. Because I know I saw on Twitter you guys were in the middle of trying to get some donations and stuff.
Yes.
How's that been going? Did it end now, or are you guys still like taking stuff throughout the year? Like how's that usually work for donations for the team? Because I know there's probably some rules and litigations that you have to do to stay within certain rules, I guess, to raise that money.
Yeah, so we have just like an open donation link on our website. Like I think there's a tab that just says donate, and then it'll take you to the official University of Michigan basket for our team. Okay. We did a Giving Blue Day in March. We did pretty well, and we just had a fundraiser this past Saturday with one of my friends in Ann Arbor who opened a wing, like a chicken wing restaurant called Side Biscuit. He's from Buffalo, so they're really, really good.
There you go.
Yeah, he's one of my really good friends, so he helped us put that on. But yeah, I mean, the biggest hurdle for us is always money and just trying to advocate for our program and, try to get some more resources from the university, and having to pay for ice is obviously a big burden for us. So
what would you say? Because I know the men's team is the D1 program. I know you're in the ACHA. Like, what would you say is probably the big difference that a lot of people don't really know? Because I know college hockey isn't really well known, which I wish it was more, because it's very exciting. I think it's something that's very underrated in terms of being on TV. So, like, what would you say is probably the biggest difference that people don't really know just in college hockey alone? Like, just even for the women, like, because there's so many NCAA D1 teams, but for you guys being the ACHA, like, what is that life like, having that difference of NCAA compared to ACHA?
I think for our program specifically, it works out really well because Michigan is such a strong school academically that our players need every minute to take advantage of study time, to work in research labs, to work, whatever they're doing. And they can have the balance between academics and hockey. So as an NCAA athlete, like, you lift at 6 a.m. and then you go to class and then you have practice maybe at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Well, our practices are so much later in the day that you can take whatever classes you want and be able to major in engineering. We have quite a few engineering students, and Michigan Engineering is a very, very good program.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a student that's in the nursing program, so she has clinicals. So
Wow.
she's able to do those and then also come to practice and travel for games because we're aware of the situation. We can sort of tailor our schedule to what our students need because they love hockey and they want to play, but they also love school and they want to do really, really well in school because they know that's what's going to carry them for the rest of their lives. So I would say the biggest difference between our program specifically and an NCAA program is that we always prioritize academics. It's academics, academics, academics. If you have an exam that conflicts with practice, you take the exam. No questions, completely excused. If you have to take an exam on the road, so our students do get excuse letters from the university through recreational sports saying that we're competing and we're a sanctioned program and we're going to be traveling. So for example, when I had to miss a Friday, I had just taken my excuse letter to my professor, and most of them were super accommodating, and I would just have to make up a lab on a different day with a different group or potentially take an exam on the road. And now as a coach, I'm able to proctor those exams if students need those. So we've had students take exams on the bus, they'll take them in hotel rooms, but it's always academics first.
Okay.
Honestly, that's kind of beautiful. I mean, you're supposed to go to college like for academics, and sports are
Correct.
A supplement to your academics. So it's good to see that academics come first. I mean, your degree is forever. If you're going to be in this career path for a long time. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's important that you take care of business and get stuff done like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's the student before the athlete part, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that is awesome. Now, are there any particular returning players our WoHawks should be on the lookout for this coming up season?
Yes, I'd say in particular our goaltender, Sandrine Conniff. She's going to be a sophomore. So her first season was last year, and she, I think, was second team ACHA All-American.
Wow. There you go.
So
That's
she's
awesome.
a very, very strong goaltender. She's also from California. So
Okay.
we have quite a few, we get quite a few players from California. So we do pull from out of state, which I think is really interesting and really adds value to our program. But she's a phenomenal goaltender. She was sort of one of those that just showed up. We're like, thank you for showing up.
Welcome. We're so happy you're here.
It's like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, hockey gods, for sending us this wonderful goaltender.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
We are very pro Tendy on this podcast, so we are all about our goalies. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on her. She's a fantastic athlete, fantastic human, fantastic student. Just a great person in general. I think she also runs our team TikTok account, which I don't have a TikTok, but I know that. Yeah,
shame, I don't either.
Yeah, I know that there's some good content on there from what I've heard, but she's the one that runs that. So
usually my friends send me TikTok links. I'm like, I don't have an account, and they'll just be like, "This is really funny. You need to watch this." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. All right, now I'm done."
That's exactly what I do too.
So it's like, okay, it's like you get the website, you're like, all right, cool, and you just go on with it. So does she does she do the Twitter account too, or is this a different person on the team that does it? Or like, how does that usually work for the socials for the team?
That's another great question. So typically it's run by students that are on the team. So Sandrine sort of just made a TikTok and ran with it. Our other socials are managed by Sophie Williams, who's going to be a senior next year. And she's done a fantastic job. And the socials are kind of near and dear to my heart because I started the team Instagram. So now it's got over 2K followers, which is a big deal for us, but we're obviously trying to continue to grow that. But yeah, she's done a fantastic
recently
job.
It got 3 more followers between the two of us and also the podcast.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun because like we were talking about like, what, we need to like do some like college hockey because like we're very, I'm very big into college hockey and stuff like that. Beth is kind of.
I went to a liberal arts school who only recently started having sports teams, so I never really did the college sports thing because it wasn't really a thing.
yeah. So we were talking. It's like, maybe we need to start following some college programs just to be like, hey, you know what? It's a podcast about women's hockey. Like, why don't we just start following college programs as well outside of the pro leagues? And I think we just started just following all the programs that we can kind of get our hands on. They'd be like, all right, let's go follow you. Let's go promote the teams and stuff. And it was funny. It's like, I think it was like you guys were like one of the first ones that were kind of like, all right, follow back. And then we dropped that post about, hey, if you're a coach or a player, come join us.
Yeah.
So I think
here you are.
you were actually the first one to reach out to us. We're like, oh my gosh, we got our first head coach. Like, what is this life?
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And I think Sophie, when you had followed us, I think she sent me a screenshot and she was like, they just followed us. And then I went on my account and checked it out. And then I saw your post about requests for people to come on the show. So I figured I'd reach out. So here we are. And I really appreciate it.
No, of course. Yeah, it's great. It was just funny how it all just worked out. It's like, we thought, we might get some people, maybe like it'll start trickling in, but it was like right off like day one, it's like, okay, here we go.
The only thing we've yet to get a response for, we put a call out to College Women's Hockey Twitter to come and recruit us as fans, and no one did. So recruit us, Jenna. Why should we be fans of the University of Michigan women's hockey team?
I think
no pressure.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, Beth, way to put her on the spot. Like, hey, so recruit us. Do it now. What's
I can give you my recruiting pitch for athletes, but it's a little different. I think obviously we're the University of Michigan. We're a great Big Ten school. We practice and play out of Yost Ice Arena. So we've got a great facility. Like I said, all of our students prioritize academics. They've all, done the work throughout their high school careers to put them in a position to succeed at the University of Michigan. All of our players love ice hockey. I think COVID was beneficial where players realized how much they really loved it and appreciate the game because we weren't able to get on the ice at all. So as soon as we were able to, even with all the restrictions and quarantining and whatever else we had to do, everybody did what they had to do to make it work. Mm-hmm. And the transition back to in-person classes and then also having to come to the rink was difficult for a lot of the members on our team. Like even for me, because I've been working remote since March 2020, for me to have to, figure out who's coming to practice, plan a practice. And then, 3 or 4 players drop at the last minute because there was some sort of COVID hang up, and then having to readjust practice and still trying to function at that high level because we're paying for ice time. We need to take advantage of it. So just trying to balance everything. Like I really appreciate everything that our players do for the program. And within the University of Michigan, we're considered like a club sport. I don't like to use, I hate the word club. I actually really can't stand it because people just assume that we're skating in circles and just throwing a puck around. And
that it's not competitive.
Correct. And that's the complete opposite of what we are. We compete in games, we compete in practice. We're fundraising for money so that we can do these things. And without without the players in the program wouldn't exist. So obviously there's turnover every year with players that are graduating or potentially moving on to other things within our program. But we still have that love of hockey, but also obviously academics is number one. And what's also really cool is that one of our players, she'll be a senior this year, Lydia Forehand, she's in the Michigan marching band. So she's on the field.
She's officially like my fit because I was in marching band. I marched in ground corps. So there she is, found her.
Yep.
I got a new player to follow because that speaks to my heart.
Yep. She's number 5. She's a defenseman. and she's in the School of Education. So she's going to be doing, I think, some student teaching stuff this upcoming year. So we'll obviously have to work with her in terms of practice and competition. But yeah, she's in the marching band, and I guess she could probably talk more about this, but she auditioned over Zoom because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
Like she just like did it, and then
wow.
she's like, "Oh, well, now I'm a piccolo player in the marching band. Like this is cool."
Yeah.
So,
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like what would you, for people who don't really know a lot of like how the season usually goes, like is there like, I know there's probably playoffs, the championship at some point they go to a certain city, like how does that usually work for trying to get that schedule? Is it a different city every year, or is it mostly like the same kind of area to be in for like playoffs and in the championship and stuff like that for your program?
yeah, so for the CCWHA, which is the league that we compete in, the playoffs were in Burton, Michigan, which is like right by Flint.
Okay.
Just like a central location for teams in CCWHA Division 1 and Division 2. So there are teams in Division 2 that are in the Upper Peninsula, so it just made sense to try to meet them, not somewhere that was super inconvenient at the end of February.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So playoffs are usually the last weekend of February or around then. So we had, the way our league was set up this past season, we had an East and a West pod, and the top 3 teams from each pod play. And then I think you play like a cross pod game. And we made it to the semifinals against Indiana Tech. Our first game, we beat Miami, Ohio in overtime, which was super exciting. So I think we went down 2-0 within the first like 6 minutes of the game. So we came back and won in overtime.
Hey, there you go.
Those are always like the edge of the seat nail biter kind of games. So we love those.
Basically the hashtag no quit in this team game, basically.
Yeah. And then for ACHA Nationals, the top 10 teams make the tournament. So I think we ended up at the 13th or 14th seed in terms of ranking. So unfortunately, didn't make it. If a team wins their league tournament, they get an auto bid. So CU Boulder won their league and got an auto bid because they were outside of the top 10 teams that were ranked. So they took ASU's number 10 spot and they were the number 10 seed. Those were in ACHA D1 Nationals alongside with the men's tournament was in St. Louis. This past season. And then next year, so 2023, they'll be in Marlboro. So like Boston, they say, but it's in Marlboro. So hopefully we'll make it out there. I'm optimistic and I'm excited.
Well, we'll definitely be rooting for you. Is there anywhere we can like watch you guys play online or?
Yeah, so we have our broadcast stream is through Arbor Broadcasting.
Okay.
And there should be a link on our website. I think it's all the way at the bottom. Their logo is a tree. Obviously, like Ann Arbor is like tree city. So that's their logo. Yeah, but they're usually at every game. I know some facilities that we've skated at haven't had the best connection, but if they can't do a live video stream, they'll try to do a radio stream.
Okay. And we can find all that on the actual women's hockey team website?
Yes, MichiganWomen'sHockey.com.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you could talk to everybody who's listening right now and tell them one thing they could do to support college women's hockey, what would it be?
One thing.
Two's okay. Maybe 3. I mean, however many you think is necessary. We're all here for it. We're all here for it.
We want to support however we can. So
and I appreciate
our listeners
I
do
appreciate it. I'd say the biggest thing is I think that obviously women's hockey is misunderstood by many, especially at the ACHA level, as being non-competitive. many schools, whether you realize it or not, may have an ACHA Division I or Division II women's program. I would encourage you to learn more about those programs, watch some games if you can find some sort of recording, or just educate yourself about who they're playing, where they're playing, who's on their roster. I know it's pretty easy for teams to have websites now, and especially social media. That's been a huge recruiting tool for a lot of programs. For our program, the biggest thing is we just want people to come out and watch. Like if we have a game at Yost, like this is a hockey game at Yost, like we want you to come.
Yeah.
We want you to
Why wouldn't
that.
you go to a hockey game at Yost?
Yeah.
Like,
I
come
mean,
on, guys.
it's talking about a well-known venue. Like, yeah, you kind of have to be
Yeah.
there. You have to show up for that one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we play, like if we play Michigan State there, like
Oh man,
we
yeah.
have a lot of people, and what we'll do is we'll reach out to youth programs in the area, like girls and boys, like youth teams and high school teams, and basically say, like, if you wear a jersey, you get free admission, just because we want them to come. Like, we want to grow the game. We want girls specifically to see, like, you can play college hockey wherever you go. It doesn't have to be at an NCAA school. Like, you can still play hockey at a competitive level while going to like a Big Ten school like Michigan. Like, obviously some Big Ten schools have NCAA D1 programs, but they don't necessarily function the way that we do. All of our players are able to take the classes that they want. They're involved in other clubs. They have a social life outside of their teammates, which I think is very healthy.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing for us is just, come to a game, check out our social media, see what our team's about. And yeah, just educate yourselves. I think there's a lot of misconception around women's hockey, and then also at the ACHA level, because going back to that word club, a lot of programs that we're competing against now get some sort of funding, or they get resources from the school. So they're functioning as like athletic programs. So they're recruiting, they're bringing students into their school to compete, to play on this team. So it's super competitive. It's growing really fast. And I think if somebody wants to be a fan of hockey, they should definitely look into the ACHA, because like I said, like even the University of Washington, like if they get a women's ice hockey program, whatever level it's at, like that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
It is. And I mean, there's even like ACHA, my personal trainer actually was on an ACHA men's college hockey team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not just on the women's level. ACHA is a great college hockey program, and it's everywhere. And it needs its support just as much as the NCAA does, because again, that club title makes people think that it's not competitive hockey.
Exactly. And like, for example, last weekend when I was in Chicago, so there were probably, I think, 60 plus men's ACHA coaches there, and they're recruiting, and, they're fighting for the same players, and these students are going through the same recruiting process, or if not, it's very similar to NCAA. Like, yes, we have little to no restrictions on when we can contact players. And for me, it necessarily doesn't matter because of the admissions process at Michigan. So
a little bit different.
It's a little different with that admissions process. So
yeah. But like I encourage players that are interested in playing ACHA, or even coaches at the AAA level. One of my goals is just to educate coaches, because when I went through the AAA program at Little Caesars, it was sort of like, okay, you play NCAA or you're not a success kind of thing. Like, it was very much like play NCAA. And, my hands were tied. I was like, I don't necessarily want to go to a school where I'm not going to fit in academically. Like, I'm not going to be challenged. I'm not going to be able to do the other things I want to do. Like, I want to go to a Michigan football game. Like, our students get to do both.
Who doesn't want to go to a Michigan football game? I mean, even non-Michigan football fans were like, I want to go to a Michigan football game.
It's very cool. It's very cool. But yeah, so just like for coaches, just educating yourself and your players that this is an option, and college hockey is college hockey. and maybe somebody goes to school and they decide that they want to pursue something else other than hockey, but if they love the school, you know, they're going to stay there and they're still going to have a great time and they're going to get a good education. So that's sort of the biggest message that I have for coaches and players is just because it's ACHA or it comes, you know, somebody calls it a club program. It's not a club program at all. It's a great experience, and it is a little different than NCAA, but at the end of the day, it's, like I said, a lifetime degree. So
yeah. So for all you out there, do not say club or we're going to throw hands because
please do not say club.
Not club hockey. It is competitive college hockey. And I mean, the ACHA programs, they allow people to go to their dream schools and still play hockey. I mean, you don't have to give up the game to go to the University of Michigan because they still have competitive hockey.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's just a whole nother level of bringing the sport to new levels. So it's just wonderful to see.
Plus, it'd be better too, though, because like, even with just NCAA hockey, it's like it's hard to get games on TV. Like even ESPN Plus, like I know for the Big Ten, you gotta go through. You have to have cable to get the network just to do that. Or it's like if you're lucky enough to be the ECAC, men and women's, you're on ESPN Plus. But that's really about it. There's no real outside of actually having to get the like subscriptions for those certain like leagues, the conferences. You really get to see very much of hockey college wise until like the Frozen Four, maybe the playoffs. So it's like I wish there needs to be
more
a better way to get not just NCAA but like ACHA. Like there's so much hockey that's being missed because no one's putting eyes on it. Like if you want to grow the sport, you got to put eyeballs on the lower leagues too, like for your conferences and stuff like that. So I definitely would piggyback off what you were saying earlier, like how to help women's hockey. We need to get more ways of getting streamed games to where people are seeing it more because there's so much hockey that's being missed. Give me more hockey. I
just want all the hockey. Just give
me all the hockey.
All of it.
Give me all the hockey.
Well, Jenna, it was an absolute pleasure to talk with you, to learn about your program, your academic first nature to everything. It's great to hear people putting the student before the athlete in a student athlete. Where can our fans find you guys on the socials, online, where, just drop all the information they need.
And even yourself,
and even your personals as well.
Yeah, so I'll start with my personals. My Twitter and my Instagram are at jtribs14. And then our team account on Instagram is at UMich Women's Hockey. Our TikTok is at UMich Women's Hockey. And our Twitter is at Women's Hockey. And our website is MichiganWomen'sHockey.com.
Perfect. It was
awesome.
An absolute pleasure to connect with you. Thank you so much for reaching out so that you could share your program with us.
Thank you.
You're our first ever coach/player on the podcast. So,
it's true.
Just an extra feather in the cap. Like, hey, first one to do it, because why not, right? That's so awesome.
It'll be out for the world tomorrow. So we'll make sure to get a link out to you so you can share it with everybody.
Yeah, we'll make sure we do that. And we'll have I'll have Sophie promote it as well on our socials.
Perfect. Well,
we really appreciate you taking the time with us to join, because I know it's like kind of a little bit late and stuff, but it was really amazing to get you to come on. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and just talk about the program and women's hockey in general. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you both for having me. And like I said, I really appreciate what you guys are doing to try to grow the game. I think everybody that's following, and I know my entire Twitter feed now is just women's hockey stuff, which is great. But yeah, just we really appreciate it, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. I think I told this to you in a Twitter message. Playing women's hockey was my dream as a kid, and the opportunity didn't exist. So if I can help another little girl actually live that dream, then life fulfilled. I'm good to go.
I love that.
Well, I hope you and your puppy have a great rest of the night, Jenna.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you both.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Jenna Trubiano from the University of Michigan Women's Hockey Club. We are so grateful.
No, it's not club. It's not club.
It's
not
always a hockey club. It's not club hockey, but it's a hockey club.
Okay, just making sure, because what
There's
did
a
she
difference.
just say? What did she just
There's
say?
a difference, sir. There is a difference.
I'm just making sure, because we just said we got to throw hands on someone who says club hockey. You almost did it. See,
Club hockey and hockey clubs are two different things. Like, it's the Chicago Blackhawks hockey club.
Okay, just making sure, because we just promised Coach we would never do that. So,
sir, I did not call it club hockey. I called it a hockey club.
But no, that was a lot of fun to have Jenna on. That was really cool. Like I said, first coach, first player, like just first women's college hockey in general on the podcast. Like, just that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching some more hockey because, again, just injected into my veins. So definitely going to be checking out some of the feeds.
So does that say Michigan's on top of your list now of potential teams?
I mean, we got recruited. So
yeah, but we have a lot of other colleges coming eventually too. So I mean,
we do. It's true, but
we're not saying where yet, but
we're not saying that yet, but
we got some more very soon coming. That's all we gotta say.
We do. We have more exciting things coming very soon. Now, I know we're in like the middle of the episode, but we were just so excited to talk to Jenna. We couldn't cover the normal things we talk about. So, sir, did you pick a number 7 for Blackhawk for the episode?
Pretty simple. I mean, this is a pretty slam dunk answer, like saying, Michigan State or like, Detroit Red Wings is your favorite team. So I think it was a pretty slam dunk answer. Brent Seabrook. Come on, it's Siebes. I know you're gonna say Chris Chelios.
I'm not, sir. I went even farther back in the way back machine.
Back in the day.
Because I think this should be the Ted Lindsay episode.
I forgot that Ted Lindsay was a Blackhawk at one point.
I told you to go to Hockey Reference because they give you everybody.
Oh, I know, but it wouldn't be fair for my fandom to not pick one of the main guys. I mean, because you grew up with that core 4. So I mean, you kind of have to,
Let me tell you how hard this decision was for like a person whose dad obviously loves hockey, history, etc. We have Ted Lindsay, who wore the number 7. Bobby Hull wore the number 7. Murray Hall wore the number 7. Phil Esposito wore the number 7. Chris Chelios, Brent Seabrook. Like, make it a little harder. Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like everyone thinks of Ted Lindsay as a Red Wing. He was also a Hawk.
Yeah.
And
he wore the number 7, which is why today is a Ted Lindsay episode.
Yeah, and it's still interesting the fact that some people forget that Bobby Orr was a Blackhawk. Maybe it was for only one season. It was a short.
But he was still a Blackhawk.
He wore Blackhawk number 4. So I mean, it's weird knowing like you think of all these guys who played on and their other teams. Like you think of them on that team, and it's like not so fast, my friend. He also was a Blackhawk.
I mean,
Ted
Lindsay. Phil Esposito, hello.
yeah. Before the dark ages of the Blackhawks, where you're like you really didn't want to remember. So
the times we don't talk about. So I know we've referenced Digit Murphy on the podcast, and it's Sunday. We record on Sundays. In the last couple of days, a couple things have happened. So Digit Murphy released an apology video to the Hockey News, basically apologizing if she offended anyone, which we all know that is not the way that you apologize to someone. The word it's not if, like, that's really just not okay. That's not an apology. Like, I apologize for offending you. That is an apology. Here's why I apologize for offending you. I'm sorry that I did that. I will not do that again. That is an apology. I'm sorry if at that point my brain shuts off. I just stop listening to your sorry words.
I mean, for me, it's like the fact that she's done that to 2 different teams I've liked now. I'm like, I don't. Yeah, I really don't care. I hate being like that, but it is what it is. I don't care.
And I felt the same way after the apology video came out. And it was not till earlier today. I was just perusing the Bird app, as I do when I'm, just getting done doing yard work, just showered, and finally got to relax for the day.
Yeah, because basically the only sports we liked it, because I'm not on Facebook very much or Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on Instagram, but for me to get any of my sports stuff, it's on Twitter because it's fantastic.
I am on Twitter for hockey Twitter. That is why I have a Twitter account. It is for hockey Twitter and my hockey friends.
That's
and
about it.
Gigs. That's what I use Twitter for.
Yeah, I have talked about other sports in the past, but like for the last couple weeks, I've decided all right, it's just I need to have a thing
all the time, baby.
Hockey
all the time.
For me to have a thing on Twitter, because the fact that I'm known as the hockey guy now for a lot of things, it's kind of all right. I'll like a lot of the other sports stuff, but it's good. But for me, it's I have to talk about hockey. That's my thing. That's what everyone knows me as on Belly Up or just wherever. It's I talk hockey. That's all I do.
I don't really watch other sports, so I really just talk about hockey. There are some dark months in the year, and it's when there's no hockey.
I kind of do, but it's at the point now where it's just baseball's kind of shot itself in the foot. Soccer I will watch because it's luckily my team that I do watch is on ESPN Plus, and I get that, so it's okay. I get to watch FC Köln out of the Bundesliga, so I can do that.
Nice.
Other than that, it's hockey, and more hockey.
Just inject hockey into my veins. So
yeah,
I was scrolling through the Bird app, and I follow pretty much anything that has to do with women's hockey PHF. I have those topics listed for the things that I want information on.
Oh, your following topics, whatever they call, whatever you call it.
Yes. So I see this message from someone on Twitter, and his Twitter name is just DF. I didn't see his @ I will find that here in a moment. But he tweeted out that the if apology was nonsense. And then Digit Murphy responded to their tweet. And the DF is listed on Twitter as a member of the trans community. They're non-binary. Their preferred pronouns are they, she, and he. So if I go between several pronouns, I'm just they were all there. I just want to make sure that I'm not getting it wrong. So Digit replied and said, "Hi DF, you're absolutely right. Saying if was bad form and signals dismissiveness. I'm assuming it should be I must be better there, but obviously we know Twitter has character limits. I must be better there, and you have my word that I will be. I am sorry that I have been detrimental to the entire trans community throughout this saga. It's unacceptable, and I am dedicated to improvement. I should have been completely forthcoming from the very start about my involvement with that group so that there would be absolutely no confusion about who I truly support. Letting things go on as long as they did led to increasing confusion and damage to the trans community. In Toronto, we released an organizational statement that we would demonstrate we are an inclusive franchise for all. I believe we were one, but we did not explicitly take care to take action specifically benefiting the trans community. It is not enough to just not be negative. I sincerely apologize to you and to the trans community who I thought without a doubt now, and to the trans community who I without a doubt now know I have hurt through my failures as a leader. I will be better, and action will be swift to demonstrate the sincerity of this apology." And for the first time, I believe her. Those words were impactful. And the fact that she responded directly to a member of the trans community that was calling her out for her weak apology. And she took the time to say that publicly and not in an exclusive video to a news outlet.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've believed the words that have come out of her mouth.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's actions speak louder than words. I mean, it's good to
Also
see that she's trying, but at the same time, it's it's been going on for over 2-3 seasons now,
since the first season of the Toronto Six,
and that's 2 seasons.
This
ago?
will be their third season coming up for season 8.
Yeah. So it's already been 2
So-
years. It's already been 2 seasons.
Yeah, I need action. I
Yeah.
need to see something happen outside of just obviously publicly apologizing to somebody on Twitter.
And exclusive videos that obviously didn't do
Yeah.
you any favors. And for the fact that you still have a reputation around the league that you have an entire staffs piecing out. And you didn't bring back your GM.
Yeah.
Who
So
had a pretty good first season as a GM, trying to get a whole crew going.
the changes Anya put into place in one season in the Riveters.
Black Rosie, you had like
The cancer awareness Rosie. I mean, the mental health jerseys were another phenomenal. I mean, the team she put together was also amazing.
They did struggle, but they were trying for the fact that it was like a lot of overhaul for the first season on that team. It's like it does.
It takes time.
It does take time, and the fact that it's not just one season. Now the Rivers do have a new GM. I totally forgot to write down who it was.
I believe it's Taryn. Hold on, let me pull it up. I think it's like Taryn Chapman, I believe, is the new GM's name. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sorry for us in our
sorry for the hold music. We should really get hold music. Let's see. Tori Charon. So I was totally off the mark there. Yeah. So sorry, Torin. But yeah, so Tori Charon is the new GM. They officially announced Digit Murphy as the president of the organization.
They're
a lot of
they're gonna have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of anger on Twitter when they were like, please welcome our new president and GM, and everybody was like, well, welcome the new GM. That's all we got.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of action needs to happen. If you want to see Digit Murphy's actual apology, the Twitter handle for the account where it was posted was at DF Pendrys, PENDRYS on Twitter. They also put out a pretty expansive statement in regards to how they were reacting to the initial apology video, which is where Digit's apology actually is. It's on that first tweet. The apology is right there. It's out there if you want to read it and check it out. As long as it doesn't get deleted. I have screenshots in the event that it does. So there's at least that. I made sure to screenshot it just in case. But I definitely think action is now the next step. Like you've said, you gave the crappy apology. You have now given a better apology, but it was kind of to one person on behalf of the whole community. And it's still kind of like, the whole community, not just to one person. But I feel like that's a slight amount of progress. And it was honestly the first time I've believed anything that came out of her mouth when it came to some sort of apology.
Yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see
what happens.
But other big news coming out of the PHF, we got a new commissioner.
We do have a new commissioner. The new commissioner was literally announced hours after we released last week's podcast.
Yeah, funny how that works out.
Zach and I both messaged each other and we're like, of course. This happens right after we're done.
It's like, just had to be our luck. It's like, yep, sure. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. That would happen to us.
That is definitely how it happens. But I'm super excited about the new commissioner. Who was rumored to be the new commissioner. It is Reagan Carey. She was a huge part of USA Hockey's women's program resurgence in 2010. She built the gold medal team.
Yeah, she did. And she also used to work for the Atlanta Thrashers back in the day too. So
she did. So I'm very, very excited to welcome her on board. We've also got more signings, more rumored signings, which is super, super exciting. So
another quick exciting thing about Reagan Carey, she actually followed her Twitter account back. So
we love you, Reagan.
So Kamish, if you're listening to this episode,
reach
out to us. Yeah, reach out. We would love to talk to you. You know,
we want to talk about some WoHo.
Yes, with our new commissioner, we're excited to see what season 8 brings.
We are.
So yes, please just.
Also, if you're listening, we really want the final in the playoffs back in Tampa. Just throw that out there. It seemed like everybody had a whole lot of fun. The arena was beautiful.
I mean, maybe I'll get lucky enough to actually make it down for that trip and try to be like, hey, I need this weekend off. Yes. I need to get down to Tampa. I need to bring Tara with me. We need to come down to Tampa, enjoy the sun. And then
instead of just getting a single bed, I will just get a hotel room with 2 beds, and we can just split the cost. And Tara can come hang out, and we can all go watch hockey.
Yeah, have us go watch hockey, or she'll just go hang out in the sun and just do whatever while we're working.
There is a ton to do around there, so it's
for sure.
It's so fun.
Oh, also, how about the Boston Pride following us back too? We got our first PHF team following us back. But
you messaged me. You were like, "Did you see who just followed us on Twitter?" And I was like, "No, run to Twitter." Oh my god!
Out of nowhere, too. I'm like, I think we just liked a post from the Boston Pride, and it's like followed by Boston Pride. I'm like, excuse me.
So
hold up.
So yeah, I mean,
and then like not even a couple hours later, Reagan follows us, and I'm like,
we're going places, baby. Maybe she listened to episode 1 and she was like, I need to check these people out because they said they wanted to be the PHS podcast or PHF podcast. So
if we somehow luck our way into becoming the official podcast of the PHF, they're like, hey, we'll throw you some money to make this a thing. If I'm gonna get paid to start just talking about WoHo, my first thing I'm doing when I go to work the next day, it's like, here's my 2 weeks notice. Deuces, peace out. I am out of this sucker. In about 2 weeks.
I love my job. I'd keep my job. I love my job. I would be one of those WoHo people with 2 jobs.
I mean, if they pay us enough money to do this, I could just be like, deuces, peace. I'm out of here. Forget this. Yeah. I finally live my dream of podcasting and just talking about hockey. Like,
what's great is I can do my job from anywhere.
Unfortunately, I can't. So my job, not so much.
I did my job when I was in Tampa for the PHF playoffs. I brought my laptop with me and I worked on Friday and Monday.
That you did. But yeah, but going back to signs though, how about the fact that Jess Healy re-signed with the Buttes? 2-year deal.
2-year deal.
We got another 2.
We got Cheyenne Darkangelo coming back to lead the Toronto 6 again next season. So that was super exciting. From everything that I've seen, that was a 1-year deal. So Cheyenne's coming back for 1 year. And with Jess Healy, she is actually coming into the PHF. This will be her first season in the PHF. She previously played in Sweden for HV 71.
Okay.
And I mean, she's really good on the blue line. Like,
oh yeah.
She's not just like a shutdown defender. She can put the puck in the net.
Yeah. It's crazy that so far though, like we've had 3 signings and that's absolutely it. Like, and we're a week into free agency. 3 signings. We thought, free agent frenzy's gonna start. We're gonna have
it's gonna be insane. And now I'm just like, please give me a signing. I just need a signing. I want to see who's playing.
Yeah, like hey, we need content. Hey, PHF, knock. We need some content for our podcast. Please give us signings.
Hey, my whaley friends, can you please sign somebody?
Wait, your whaley friends.
Our whaley friends.
Thank you. It's like, hello. Remember, new whale fan here. Which please. I'm still waiting for my shirt and my hat to come. And it's been since the 17th of April. What's going on, guys?
That I don't know. I don't know. Send an email or message them. They're really quick responding to the DMs. So slide into them whaley DMs and be like, hey guys, so here's my order. I haven't gotten it yet. What's going on?
Yeah, I need my Kennedy Marchment shirtsy. Yeah.
They were super great about it. My mom ordered my Allie Monroe jersey for Christmas. not realizing that jerseys are printed to order.
Yeah.
And so she had it sent to her house thinking it would be there before Christmas, but they take 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So I messaged the wonderful whale on the bird and I was like, hey, so this is what happened. This is the order number. And they changed the shipping address to my house and whale jersey came to my house. So
nice. Yeah. So 3 signings so far, 2 for the Buttes, 1 for the 6. And
both Buttes are 2-year contracts. And then
the Buttes the rumored potential contract, which for me right now, it's like the whale, or not the whale, the Buttes are, we've been talking about the whale. I've got the whale on my mind.
The Buttes are loading up because there is quite the rumor
they are not messing around. They are not messing around.
6-figure PHF contract.
Oh boy.
This
is so crazy.
A 1-year deal.
So crazy I had to crack a beer. That's how crazy this is.
Look, 1-year deal, $100,000 Canadian, all salary. That's not benefits and compensation. That is just salary.
Which is what, 78,000 American?
It's right around 78,000 US. So it'll be about 10% of a cap hit for the Buttes.
Gosh.
For one player. And it is rumored that Michaela Grant-Mentis is leaving the Toronto Six and signing a 100,000 Canadian dollar PHF contract.
Supposedly.
Buffalo.
Supposedly.
I said rumored.
No, I know. Rumored. I'm just saying from Leonard Kenny.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. It is going to be...
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about that in a little bit too, about Leonard Kenny, but yes, no, if Michaela Grant-Mentis leaves the Six for the Buttes, oh my gosh, like the Buttes just got injected with a former MVP of the league, and they stole her from the Six.
Yeah,
like it makes you wonder what's going on for her to be like, all right, going to the Buttes, bye.
And I'm starting to believe that it's going to happen more and more. So Alex Sinatra, who was briefly the head of the PHFPA, the beginning-ish timeframe of 2022, she actually tweeted out that I'm hearing from a reliable source who has knowledge of this transaction that the $100,000 Canadian is salary and doesn't include benefits and healthcare calculation. So, I mean, that's a fairly significant. I mean, she obviously has still connections within the league. She was the head of the PA.
Yeah.
That's
wild. Like,
yeah.
For the fact that the Buttes already got 2 players, obviously one of them has been a Butte for a long time.
Oh, we love Dom.
Yeah, and the fact that you're probably taking a former MVP from 2 seasons ago from the Six, who everyone thought the Six were going to make a run because you bring D'Arcangelo back, and now you figure out, are you bringing Lindsay Eastwood back? Are you bringing back Saria Tinker? Truly, are just all of these players like do they have a shot? Do the Six make a jump next year? Now, if you're taking a former MVP away, who's, really good,
Kayla is good. The scoring title came down to the last game of the season between her and Kennedy. Yeah. Kennedy got points. Michaela did not because they got shut out by Fuji.
The Mount Fuji showed up that day.
Oh, Fuji has several shutouts this season.
Yeah, so you can't stop the Fuji is all you have to say. Put that on a T-shirt. Hashtag can't stop the Fuji.
Can't stop the Fuji. So, but
merch idea. Write that down. Merch ideas. We need merch ideas.
Shut them down.
Yeah,
and Kennedy got the scoring title. So
yeah, if the Buttes somehow make this transaction, if it does happen, the Buttes just easily probably jumped in the power rankings, which I think for us this year, when the league does start up, we need to start doing a weekly rankings post.
Oh, for sure.
And we have to drop it in the episode. Like we actually have to make our own power rankings,
Mhm.
and then make our own like combined, like figure out like what the actual like ranking is for next season.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, I'm wondering if our fans are paying attention because we have a new sponsor for the podcast.
We do.
And I threw it in there in the intro, but again, we were so excited to talk to Jenna.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about our new friends.
I mean, they're pretty clutch to join our podcast.
They are. And not only are they clutch to join our podcast, they have officially licensed sports memorabilia.
They do. And they actually have vintage hockey shirts too. Like we're talking Nordiques, the Cleveland Barons, the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks, the Cincinnati Stingers, and the New England Whale. If you're going back to the WHA days, way back.
Colorado Rockies, Atlanta Knights. They've got the Chicago Cougars.
The Atlanta Thrashers as well.
The Chicago Shamrocks. They've got a St. Louis Arena t-shirt, which was owned by the Wirtz family, and the sale of that arena is the only reason the St. Louis Blues exist. History.
Which now now we wish it never happened because then they would never want to win a cup. So
it's true, it is. But I mean,
the Wirtz have to ruin everything.
They do. But they have got some clutch merch at In the Clutch. So if you head over to intheclutch.com, honestly, the easiest way to find the hockey merch, there is a search bar, boop, right at the top of the thing. Just search the word hockey. Your eyes are just going to go boop. They've got some legit stuff going on. It is all officially licensed. And
from what I heard too, like they are trying to branch out to have more hockey stuff because they're mainly MLS and MLB and all that, but they really want to branch out. So maybe
if you
more
buy
hockey
the vintage
stuff.
Hockey merch, they will see that we love hockey. And because we love you so much, we decided to forego a higher commission to give you guys a discount code.
We did.
Like, we could have just been like, go there, use our link, blah, 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 and get the dollars. But we were like, no, we love our people. We want to give them a discount code. So just like with Shocked Hydrate, if you go to intheclutch.com, you order your vintage hockey, you pop it in the cart, you go to discount code, and you type in WoHo Hockey, and guess what? You're going to get 10% off because we love you.
Yeah, and if you want to make it easier to search, to go to their website, intheclutch.com/WoHo Hockey.
Yep.
And then you use WoHo Hockey at checkout, like Beth said. 10% off your order. You get some cool merch, and you help support the podcast. If you want us to do more cool stuff, why don't you go check them out? How about you be clutch and get some nice t-shirts?
And now that we have this amazing merch crew, if we hit the numbers that we want to hit for this giveaway, we're going to send you a shirt, whatever shirt you want. It doesn't even have to be hockey. Whatever shirt you want.
We would
prefer it would be hockey. But
because
if
we
you
are
want
a
to be like
podcast, but if you want
to
MLS,
be like, I
MLB,
really love this baseball shirt because it's really cool and it has a super fun saying on it, then cool. We will send it to you. It's fine. But we got to get the numbers up, people, because we have 76 followers on Instagram. We are 24 away from the 100 we need. We still have 15 followers and subscribers on YouTube.
We only need 5. We only need 5 more.
10 more. We said 25.
That's right, we did.
But it hasn't moved in weeks. Go to the YouTube link in our link tree.
In Twitter.
Subscribe.
And Twitter. We need the Twitter numbers up too, guys.
Yes.
Because we are
subscribe.
Yes.
Click
and the bells.
The bell.
Yes.
All notifications.
And
go
to
the Twitter.
Where are we at on Twitter?
On Twitter, we currently have 151 followers. So we are 49 away there. Go to the Twitter.
Because if you do that,
click the follow.
If you do that, we will unlock it, and then you have to do some extra stuff. But at least you unlock the discount. You unlock the giveaway. We can't give it to you if you can't.
The giveaway, so we can send you things like I'm to the point here. Here, I'm going to reach over here real quick and be super rude. Unlock the giveaway. This is in it.
Wow.
This is in it. This is from the final game.
You're giving away
Connecticut Whale
You're giving it away
versus Boston Pride.
Why?
I got hit in the ankle with this puck.
Why are you giving it away though? Why?
I mean,
like it's because you got more.
I have this one.
Oh, well, there you
This
go.
one
Then.
has a koa.
Oh, well, there you go then. So
Yes.
that makes sense. You're keeping the koa, but you're giving away the other one because why not?
Unlock the giveaway. This is in it, people.
So for
I'm
those
gonna
of
send you this puck, and I'm going to send you this fancy puck display case because pucks must be protected.
yeah, so for those who don't go on, if you're not in the YouTube version, which you need to be, basically a PHF playoff puck is to be part of the giveaway along with a shirt.
We're going to send you whatever shirt you want from In the Clutch.
And
I'm going to send you
and you're getting a puck.
a PHF final game puck that hit me in the ankle. Hit
there
the time for in the head. Hit me in the ankle.
Luckily, there's no blood on it.
There's no blood on it. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't bleed on it. Nobody bled from that puck, but come on.
People may have gotten hurt from this puck.
There was like a little bruise on his head. I had like a tiny bruise on my ankle.
But hey, at least you can see you got hit by a PHF puck. So, I mean,
I did.
You got that going for you. So,
I mean, it is what it is, but like,
it is what it is. I mean,
like, follow, subscribe, do the things so that we can do the giveaway.
I do have to say though too, like we have to shout this one person out because the new thing that's going down on their like YouTube and podcast thing, which we're all here for our hockey friends.
Oh, very much so.
How about from Center Ice doing a happy hour?
Yes.
Like I am.
Love it.
The video was phenomenally done as always because now we're getting playoff videos from Center Ice, and now we're getting from Center Ice happy hour, and that happy hour logo that was added
beautiful.
to it.
It's beautiful.
It's so great.
We're here for 6 taps, Courtney. I will snap for you.
We're here for it. I mean, just we need
to
get her back. We need to get her back on the podcast very soon
we need to talk some piggies. But I know today was not a good piggy day.
Probably not.
From what I saw,
it wasn't a great hockey day for any of our teams. So
no,
someone's upset.
That would be Gary.
Gary.
He's like mother. I crave violence. He's slowly creeping into the room.
Oh my gosh! But yes, awesome. You definitely have to. If you guys aren't yet, go follow From Center Ice. Do all the stuff we need you to do for us, but also for her. How about Courtney and Jackie? Because why not? They're
we love
friends.
Them.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show, and in real life.
Yeah.
So
I actually got to meet Courtney in real life. It was awesome. So
hopefully next year we'll make a road trip to the UC. So
yes, there not hopefully there will be a day where Zach, myself, Courtney, Jackie, and our friend Johnny all take over the UC, and the UC ain't ready for us.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to pack my Alex DeBrincat jersey and just wear that with pride. We gotta go to Portillo's. We gotta go to Gonzo's.
I have to tell the people what happened yesterday.
Oh gosh.
So this will be the last thing before we go, and we'll have to be quick. So I was at an Iceman watch party yesterday because they're in the Kelly Cup playoffs, and one of my fellow Iceman fans tried to convince me that the Blackhawks are trading Alex DeBrincat. Like, I texted Zach immediately. I was like, bro. All because he got mad because he's a Bolts fan, and we were talking about how teams that sweep usually get swept. And I was like, oh, you mean like Tampa in the playoffs when they got swept by the Blue Jackets? And then his first response was, well, Jonathan Taves probably isn't playing hockey anymore. Okay. And?
Okay.
Well, they're also going to trade Alex DeBrincat. No, they're not.
Buddy.
There are not enough prospects and draft picks in the world for them to be like, let's trade the guy we're building this new team around.
Yeah, like nice try though. I mean, I wish they didn't trade Brandon Hagel, but that's a different story for another day.
It is.
And
but
he's being underutilized in Tampa. So,
he is. But he scored a playoff goal, so
What?
we love bagels.
Also, I heard that there might be a potential road trip to Savannah.
Oh yeah, you and me are gonna hit up a Savannah Ghost Pirates game versus Jacksonville Icemen, and I'm gonna bring you an Iceman jersey to wear because we are not fans of the Ghost Pirates, sir.
So it has to be like that.
It has to be like that.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's how it works in my life. I have this beautiful goalie jersey right there from the inaugural season of the Jacksonville Icemen.
The only way you can convince me of being a Jacksonville Iceman fan is if it's a jersey that I get to keep, not borrow.
I actually have a jersey you could probably keep.
Oh, man.
That whole closet is just filled with jerseys, right?
Yeah, I know. My question is it themed or not themed? That's the main thing.
It would not be themed. It would be one of our standard home, away, or third jerseys.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
So basically, we may need to pull
I believe it's the version of that is not lettered and numbered. Also,
Okay.
look at Ella. Look at her.
Aw.
So
WoHawks, do you think that Beth has what it takes to convince me to be a Jacksonville Iceman fan? Does she have what it takes to make it happen?
I mean, did I not put in the universe that you're going to be a Connecticut Whale fan?
Yes.
And what happened?
It happened. You also did say, what was it? There was another thing you said happened and it actually did. Oh,
Cale McCarr scoring the overtime game-winning goal the other night. I put that in the universe. Everybody was like, "Who said that?" I was like, "It was me."
No, well, I was going to say the Blackhawks eliminating the Golden Knights.
Put that in the universe too, and guess what happened?
It actually did happen. So
I told Shaggy Von Doom he was going to get his Avalanche pom-poms on Saturday, and guess what happened?
He got them on Saturday. So basically, what you're saying is the odds may be in your favor.
Yes, I mean, I know we're not in the playoffs, but I do also have Colorado Avalanche.
Of course you did. Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, well, there is another name. I know you don't want me to be a Ghost Pirates fan because I know another name you have for it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say on the podcast because it's not appropriate for the podcast.
If you want to know, you go to the Twitter right there. Wonder Beffers, slide to my DMs, and I will tell you, and then you'll never be able to unsee what I tell you.
I can't unsee it, and it's like I also was like thinking about getting their jersey, and now I'm like, I don't know now.
I can't unsee it now.
I still want to see what it looks like though, because the color scheme is amazing. Mm-hmm. I want to see what
apparently
the jersey
mascot looks like a Q-tip.
Really? On the jersey?
Yeah. No, like the mascot, like the fluffy person that will walk around looks like a Q-tip. So, but we are quickly running out of time. Zach, where can the people find you?
They can find me at One True Zach. It's ONE True Zach. Not gonna do my usual joke because I kid. It's not number one. It's not the Oneaters. It's not the Wonders. It's One True Zach, and I do look good in the red. Beth, where can they find you in the podcast on the socials? And
this is where we confuse the people because you can find me at Wonder Beffers, which is WonderBeffers on the Twitter. You can find me at Good Better Beffers on the Gram. And you can find the podcast on YouTube under Let's Talk WoHo Hockey in our link tree as well. You can also find it on Instagram and Twitter at Talk WoHo Hockey Pod.
That's a lot of places.
It's a lot of places. And all of our sponsor links are also in our link tree. You can go find the Belly Up Discord, which is a super fun place. There is a nice hockey community building there. So you can just go talk hockey and trash talk, and it's a very big open forum. If you want to guest on podcasts, they have a place to put that in there too. So if you want to be on WoHo Hockey, you just hop in the Discord and let us know.
Also, real quick, this is something we have to. So they're not a sponsor of our podcast. They're kind of like a thing for the entire Belly Up family.
I was leaving this one for you, friend.
We have to talk about these guys. We got Canada Dips.
Yes. So from Humboldt, Ontario, Canada. if you are a hockey fan, you very much know the name Humboldt. So we will support that community however we can.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is their CBD. So for those who are on the YouTube, you get to see what it looks like. And I got the Maui Wowie flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I have not felt that relaxed and that zen in so long because I deal with anxiety and depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat my body up playing sports for a good number of years, but I never felt so relaxed. This stuff really works. Like,
same. I have the peach and the tangy citrus. Money.
I actually just convinced. I talked to my mom the other day, and I told her this stuff really works. She went out, used our code Belly Up for 20% off. She ordered herself the strawberry cough.
Nice.
So she told me if she likes the strawberry cough, she's going to buy 2 more packs to last her the entire month. Because she's like, do you think it'll last a long time? If you do one a night, then yes. Yeah. So you can have the entire month's worth besides minus 1 day if you're in the 31 month.
Yep.
But you will have enough. And after I'm done with the Maui Wowie, guess what I'm doing? I'm buying 2 more. I'm buying 2 more cans myself. Oh. Different flavors though. I don't know what I'm going to get yet, but I am going to get 2 more.
I highly recommend the tangy citrus.
I'm either thinking that. I'm thinking that or the peach or the mango. Yeah, it's going to be one of those flavors and then something else because I kind of want to mix it up. I want to have like a fruity one night and then have like another one another night. So kind of like a nice little mix. But my goal is 2 more after my Maui Wowie, which it's got some nice pineapple citrus flavor. And the good thing is it's 10 milligrams per pouch, 15 pouches per can. You're talking 150 milligrams. Good thing is it's all hemp, no THC. So it's all CBD and it's the good stuff. So make sure to check out at canadips.com and use Belly Up at checkout. 20% off your order, $11.99 with shipping for 1 can of the Canadips. It's good stuff.
Is
I highly recommend it.
In the link tree. Also in the link tree because
go
come
support.
On, we make it easy. Go support Belly Up. Go support our network. Go support the sites. Support the Discord. Support WoHo wherever you can. Find the WoHo. Support the WoHo. Watch the WoHo at every level possible. But
definitely need to go check out Jenna Trubiano and the Michigan women's hockey team.
Yes. So all the links will be in the description for the podcast. We are officially out of time, my friends. We will talk to you next week. It has been an absolute pleasure. Have a great week. We will see you next Monday. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this Belly Up Media production. Some said we'd go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're still here.